Every Honda Helix, if you want, is exactly the same. Go ahead, fly your drone. So I decided to do this one outside. I got another bike on my lift, and my son is flying the drone while we do this. It's a pretty easy job. So anyway, we'll get started here in just a minute. Helix is a wider bike than you think. It does have a center stand, and it's up on the center stand. But if you own one of these, you know that on the center stand it rests on the front wheel. The wheel I need to change. There's many ways to do this. What I've decided is I have this cheap jack, these two jack stands here, and this piece of wood. What I'm going to do is take this underneath here, and I'm going to put this piece of wood up here, and then I'm going to put the jack underneath it, jack it up a little bit, slide the jack stands underneath it, because I do have to drive to the shop. I want to make sure nothing happens to the Helix while I'm driving at the shop. So again, I apologize for kind of the shaky video. I'm doing this with my phone, as you can tell. I'll get this done, and I'll show you what it looks like all jacked up, and then I'll show you the easy steps to remove the front wheel. Now the Helix is supported by the jack stands. Board's underneath there so it doesn't bend the bottom plate. Let me tell you something about removal. You always talk about the side of the bike by the rider position. So if I was sitting on my bike, this would be the left side. This would be the right.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer.
Right side's a 14mm bolt. The speedometer cable is attached here. There's a little Phillips screw holding it inside of this housing. You can pull that out. Actually, for this job, I might leave the speedometer attached, right? So I don't have to deal with it. This side is the 19mm. So hopefully your tool set has a 19mm. If not, just go to Harbor Freight. You're just going to hold this bolt. The torque on this is, I believe it's 43 foot-pounds. So make sure when you reinstall that you have a torque wrench. Can't really show everything, but look here. I just took the tire off. This side has the dust seals, right? When you go to put it back on, this is your disc brake, right? When you go to put it back on, it's going to look like you don't have enough space inside the caliper here. But your caliper will move over, right? It'll move, right? Yeah, I can't move. So your caliper will be able to slide, and that will aid you in getting it on. I left the speedometer cable attached here. You can see the rings and everything, the bearings that you're supposed to have in there, blah, blah, blah. Here is the pin that goes through, this axle bolt. You want to sight down it or put it on some kind of a thing to make sure you don't have more than 2/100ths out of rounds. I can just sight down it, and kind of tell. Let me see. Besides, the bike's only got 5,800 miles on it. So, I know this isn't bent, even if I weigh 1,000,000 pounds. So that's how to take that front tire off. I'm going to take this to the shop. I'm using the Bridgestone M17 on the front. That's a 12-inch. I think it's either 100 by 90 or 110 by 90. This is the original, the Dunlap. These are good tires too. Obviously, this tire is 12 years old and doesn't show any signs of deterioration. Of course, I always keep it in the garage. So it is nice and worn out, but I'm a pretty ugly guy. So if I crash and ruin my face or something, I don't really care. But yeah, we'll get to the shop and we'll put this back on. Anyway, I took the opportunity to just give the wheels a quick shine. Just wipe all the brake dust. Oh, make sure, this is the front wheel. Make sure you get a metal valve stem. Make sure you get it pointing that way, 45 degrees outside like that, or 90 degrees rather, and have it pointing opposite of the disc brake side. That will make putting the air inside the tire the easiest. Let's quickly go over the order of assembly. This is the left side of the bike. This is the speedometer cable. It's going to go over here, and then it's going to go on the inside right here. And the bolt's going to go through. You can move your caliper over to the bike and get your brake disc inside there. Then on the other side, the wheel, you have this spacer. So this spacer is next. Then you have the dust cover here, the other dust cover, and then the 19mm bolt goes on the outside here. This is just in case you've dropped everything when you took the wheel off and you don't know where everything goes. When you're taking off your wheel, try to keep these dust covers on. Anyway, I got the wheel on and I used this blue tape. What I did was I was having some trouble with these dust covers popping off. What you want to do is you want to work the axle bolt in as you're moving everything across, right? So I put the speedo in and then move the bolt in, and then I wanted to hold that spacer in too. You see that spacer right there. So I move the bolt to there, and then it's hard to manipulate the brake. You know, you got to push that brake back and forth to get the caliper to go around the disc. What I did is I put a little piece of blue tape from here to here, and I did it on both sides just because this doesn't actually spin, and I just held those dust covers on. I just want to say a shout out to hoohoohoblin. He is a YouTuber with a lot of do-it-yourself videos. He has given me the courage to work on my own motorcycles. I'll put a link in the description down below, but without him I would have never have had the courage and knowledge to do some of the things on it that I do. Good luck. If you have any questions, post them down below. If you live in the Phoenix area and you need help, you can come on over and I'll help you out. So anyway, good luck with your project, and thanks so much.